child actors from the 80s who vanished from the business. The 1980s gave us some of the most iconic child stars in Hollywood history. But while some went on to successful careers, others seemed to vanish from the spotlight. What happened to these once famous kids? Why did they stop acting? And where are they now? Let's find out. Number 1, Barrett Oliver. Oliver burst onto the scene in a big way, starring as Bastian in the 1984 movie The Never-Ending Story.
Here we just sell small rectangular objects. They're called books. They require a little effort on your part and make no beep 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 beeps. On your way, please.
I know books. I have 186 of them at home.
Ah, comic books.
No, I've read Treasure Island, The Last of the Mohicans, Wizard of Oz, Lord of the Rings, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, Tarzan.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Come. Who are you running away from?
Just some kids from school.
Why?
They want to throw me in the garbage.
Subsequently, he was cast as the lead in Tim Burton's short film Frankenweenie and as the cyborg Daryl in the 1985 film of the same name, a role for which he won a Saturn. Oliver also played David in the Ron Howard film Cocoon and its sequel. But by the early 90s, he left acting behind. He's now a photographer and historian specializing in 19th century printing techniques.
I'm a little short.
Oh, you need a quarter?
No, longer legs. That's the best one right down the middle.
Can I help you?
No, go right ahead.
Did you miss me? I missed you.
Yeah. Did you get me anything? No!
Webster!
Nice equipment.
Thank you very much.
Moving right along.
Emmanuel Lewis from Webster. Lewis never really left the business, he just didn't have any future roles as high profile as Webster, which ended its run in 1989. Emmanuel Lewis made appearances on various TV sitcoms and reality shows, and has also dabbled in the music business. Jason Lively from National Lampoon's Vacation. My favorite Rusty. After Anthony Michael Hall and before Johnny Galecki, there was Jason Lively playing Rusty in National Lampoon's European Vacation.
Babe, I know. Yeah, I do. Yes, I do. I know. I know, but is it you? Or is it you? Or you? It's me.
Despite a handful of films in the 80s, Jason chose to leave acting in the early 90s, following a role in the 1992 movie Maximum Force. Although he returned to the business in the 2017 Western film Hickok, Lively has worked for a computer company and was also the owner and operator of Jimmy Crack Corn, a mobile roasted corn business, that according to online reports.
Who taught you to dance like that? Michael Jackson. Hey, get a load of this.
Now let's talk about the Small Wonder kids. First, Jerry Supran. Supran played Jamie Lawson on Small Wonder for 4 seasons, and he had nearly 20 acting credits under his belt throughout the 80s. But when the quirky sitcom ended in 1989, so did Jerry Supran's career.
You know, being a child star, it's a lot of pressure on you. You know, when you're a kid, like you really don't have a chance to grow up. Like, I mean, if I could go back in time, you know, I would probably I would go back and I would graduate high school with, you know, my friends instead of just getting my GED and acting and all that. I mean, it was a great experience, don't get me wrong, but I would do things differently if I could do them over.
As an adult, he worked in a variety of restaurants, and in 2012, it was reported that he was destitute, working as a full-time volunteer at a California homeless shelter. The former child star claimed that a former advisor and girlfriend stole a large trust fund that held the savings from his acting days. Tiffany Brissett, who played Vicky on Small Wonder. After the series was canceled in '89, she briefly continued acting, appearing in several episodes of the ABC series Legal Justice, and made a guest appearance on the Fox sitcom Parker Lewis Can't Lose, which was her last credited acting role. According to information found online, Brissett eventually became a registered nurse and works in Boulder, Colorado.
Sweet. Edie, what do you think of the fact that Tiffany's gone on, she's living in Colorado, and she's a nurse?
I think that that's a tribute to her upbringing, you know, that she wasn't twisted by the system that can twist some children. And she seems to be a gorgeous young woman and ready to take care of her life.
Yeah. Danny Lloyd from The Shining, the Red Rum Kid. He terrified audiences as little Danny Torrance in The Shining.
Tony, why don't you want to go to a hotel? I don't know. You do too know. Now come on, tell me. Don't want to. Please. No.
But after his iconic performance, he left Hollywood behind entirely. It was later revealed through interviews that he had no interest in continuing an acting career following that film, and instead became a biology professor in Kentucky. Tammy Stronach from The Neverending Story. Stronach didn't really pursue an acting career following the 1984 fantasy film. Instead, she shifted her focus to dancing and now runs her own studio in New York.
I came to the audition really not knowing what I was auditioning for. And I was in a theater company that was traveling around to local schools and doing Winnie the Pooh, and my role was Piglet. And I came to the audition right after one of those shows, and I had pig makeup on. So you're supposed to dress the part, they say. So I was very fair. They asked if I could come back and audition again, and perhaps remove the pig makeup.
Well, now I
Many others, Family Ties. After playing Jennifer Keaton for the duration of Family Ties' 7-year run, the others shifted her focus to music and started a rock group with her brother Corey. She made several appearances over the years on various reality and game shows, including The Weakest Link, Celebrity Fit Club, and Wife Swap.
What seems to be the problem?
Look, mister, I need a ride. My friends and I just had a run-in with these really disgusting people. You might have heard of them, the Fratellis. Well, we found their hideout. And could you please take me to the sheriff's station? I can describe all 3 of them.
Bimba dagli occhi vieni da Maria.
Jeff Cohen from the Goonies. Cohen won hearts as Chunk in the Goonies, but he had no interest in staying in Hollywood. Instead, he became a successful entertainment lawyer, even representing some of his former Goonies co-stars. Will he appear in the reported sequel? That remains to be seen, but I'm sure they'll find a spot for him. Finally, let's talk about one of my favorite child star movie roles from the 80s. That's Carrie Henn, who played Newt in Aliens.
We better get back, because it'll be dark soon, and they mostly come at night. Mostly.
But she never pursued Hollywood further. Instead, she became a teacher, leading a completely different life outside the film industry. She has appeared in various Aliens documentaries over the years talking about her experiences on the film.
But I wasn't scared of anything, because when we were filming, James Cameron, everyone just made sure that I knew exactly what was going on, exactly what they were doing, exactly how everything worked. And so, like the aliens running around after me, 2 minutes before we started shooting, they'd be standing there with the head off talking to me because they were my friends. So it wasn't really scary to me.
Well, as you can see, Hollywood isn't for everyone. And most of these child stars appear to have found happiness outside of the industry. Whether they pursued business, education, music, or completely different passions, their stories prove that there is life beyond fame. Which of these stars do you remember the most? Who else might belong on this list? Let me know in the comments, and be sure to follow for more nostalgic movie and TV content.